Kings have descended from their thrones. Hello One Piece enthusiasts, I'm the One Piece nerd, and today let's talk about One Piece chapter 1110. The five elders are on Egghead Island, and their powers are definitely what we thought. Well, they are, of course, five mythical creatures that we saw the shadows of when Sabo was in the throne room fighting Im-sama and trying to rescue Cobra. Now, with that being said, the one distinction that we did see is that they're probably not devil fruits, but something else. Before we move on, make sure to like and subscribe, it helps the channel a lot. Now that you have, let's begin. The first and most important thing to talk about this chapter is the fact that the five elders have powers of the devils, or devil fruit abilities, but they don't have devil fruits. Usually when characters are introduced, regardless of who they were, if they didn't have devil fruits, nothing would be stated, but if they did, something would be stated. And for the five elders, their devil fruits were never stated. They were in fact given forms immediately. Their abilities have no names, but there are forms that they can take. Now, from this, what I can assume, I'm just going to go head on with the theories. My perspective on all of this is that, yeah, Im-sama probably did create the five elders. These were five nobles that probably were nobles at some point in their life and were turned into devils instead. Because maybe Im-sama has the ability to create devils, and for the devils to go back to human form, kind of the opposite of what devil fruits do, turning humans into abilities of devils, and for Im-sama's case, creating devils that could turn into human. Now, why do I bring that up? Because it's simple. They've got numbers. They've got numbers from 1 to 5, and Saturn being number 5. And of course, they don't have any devil fruits, which means their powers must come from somewhere. And that power presumably comes from the creator, rather Im. And I don't have enough evidence to back it up, but it seems likely if him or herself is immortal, it's entirely possible. And for someone who's been in power for 800 years, it's entirely possible that Im has the power to create creatures or beings to serve under him or her. Because of course, Im by herself didn't want to show herself to the world, because no one should know that someone belongs on the empty throne. What she did was create five representatives that would rather take the throne of the world government and would make decisions for her. Even though the five elders do make decisions on the opinions of Im-sama, she needed five loyal guardians who would listen to every single thing she said and needed to be a face for the world government, and the five elders were born. Now, with that being said, the powers of the five elders are no different from the from a zone or mythical zone users that we've seen thus far. They have hybrid form, they have their full forms, they have their awakened forms. We see all of that. They're very similar to what zone devil fruits can do, specifically mythical zones like Luffy and like a zone like Lucci. So even though they have properties of devil fruits, they're probably not it. And with that being said, let's just talk about their powers. I'm just gonna talk about one person only in this one, because it's Venus Zuro. Venus Zuro is the only one that we got to see their powers in full extent, and I gotta say, Saturn was he wasn't weak. Saturn really wasn't weak. I believe that Luffy is strong, but Saturn probably is the weakest among the five elders because of his number and because he was shown first. We then see Venus Zuro basically come into Egghead Island, literally taking not even a minute to clear off half of the pacifistas by himself without even breaking a sweat. And I think I found my favorite Gorosei, at least from a power perspective, and I think we know Zoro's sort of final opponent. He is basically an undead sword, or a zombie horse. He's basically a zombie horse or zombie knight who basically uses a sword. And That is so cool. The others, yeah, they are impressive with power. We don't really know much of it. We don't really see much of their skills or their potential. But yeah, I am very impressed by Venus Zoro. And with that being said, the five elders and what I talked about in my last video was basically how Luffy is not going to win this by himself, even if he does have allies like Dory and Broggy helping him out. I really do not think that this is enough to beat the five elders. And on the bright side, yeah, Zoro was stronger than Lucci, of course, Zoro was. And I mean, Luffy took Lucci down very easy, and Zoro was supposed to beat him because Zoro is now way stronger than what he was versus King, because every time he fights, he learns. With that being said, I liked how Zoro had a convincing win. At the same time, I believe that Zoro had to win, basically showing the powers of the Straw Hats. And to lose to someone like Lucci at this point in the story doesn't really make a lot of sense. Not that I'm not giving Zoro any credit, but rather it just had to happen. Now with the five elders, however, I don't see Zoro getting back in the frame anytime soon. Sanji and everyone else escaping. The only ones fighting are Luffy and Dory and Broggy with the five elders. Of course, Luffy is surprised. I have a feeling that, yeah, Luffy will survive for a few more minutes by himself, even with the help of Dory and Broggy. I believe there needs to be something happening sooner for Luffy and the others to escape. Everyone else can escape. I don't see a world where everyone else escaped and Luffy doesn't. I believe every one of them will escape, and there has to be something, some other part in Egghead that has to make the Goro say stop their focus on Luffy. Others will get out, and Luffy, Dory, and Broggy will get out as well. Dory and Broggy in this chapter has basically shown me, yeah, they are freakishly strong. They're not Yonko level strong, but yeah, they're definitely strong. Because damaging the five elders, or rather, making some sort of an effort on it, I feel like that is some sort of an accomplishment that you have to give them. Speaking of the five elders, one thing that viewers, or not my viewers, but rather chapter readers and of course other YouTubers have mentioned, is how the five elders don't really dodge the attacks and how they can instantly regenerate. We've seen that with Saturn, we can see that with the five elders. It's like an inherent capability. Now, we have a question. Are they immortal? Can they be defeated? Well, all I'm gonna say in this video is, yeah, they will be defeated. They can be defeated, but there is another way. It's not just simply Haki. Powerful Haki might do it, but there needs to be something more. That's it for the video, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I love the five elders powers a lot in this chapter, and I like how Luffy is still sort of confident about the whole situation. It's like, yeah, you guys get out, I can handle the situation, and we'll see where it goes. But what do you guys really think about the five elders, their powers, and what Luffy will be able to do, or what should be happening in Egghead? That's it for the video, guys. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and peace.